Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Poonam Sagar at Indonesia India Business Forum. And today we are going to start with our very first interview with our esteemed guest, Mr. Ashok Mitra. But before we start, I'd like to give a very short introduction to the Indonesia India Business Forum, which has been set up to enhance the interaction between the Indonesian and Indian business community, so that new business opportunities can be explored, initiated, and actioned. IIBF hosts prominent Indonesian and Indian thought leaders, business leaders, and also business networking events. Today, we are very pleased to have one of the top 10 CEOs in mining, as recognized by CEO Insights Asia, Mr. Ashok Mitra. He's the CEO of PT Kaltim Prima Coal, KPC. Hi, Mr. Ashok, how are you doing?
Fine, I'm doing okay. What about you?
I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very happy you took this time out to talk to us. I'd just like to introduce that KPC is one of Indonesia's largest producer and exporter of coal, based in Sangatta, East Kalimantan, in Indonesia. It's the world's largest open pit mining sites with a production capacity of over 70 million tons per year. Congratulations, Ashok, again on this recognition and acknowledgement of your leadership.
Thank you.
What do you believe are the key attributes or strategies that have contributed to your success and this prestigious recognition?
To be very frank with you, I was quite surprised when I was recognized, because I never thought that I would come to this extent of being recognized as one of the top 10 leaders in mining industry. Believe it or not, I'm not a mining engineer. A lot of people ask me, what is your basic qualification? I said, I'm just an accountant. I'm a chartered accountant and a company secretary from India. And when I got the opportunity to move to Indonesia from Tata Power, they actually surrounded me to head as the CFO of KPC when Tata Power bought a 30% stake in KPC and another miner with me. At that time, I moved in 2007 and my wife also moved in with me in 2008. Since then, I was new to the mining industry. I was earlier with power. In the group, I had been with telecom and electronics. So this was the fourth industry in the group, which really helped me to go to move ahead. I will tell nothing much I've achieved, but it was this industry which helped me to move up in my career. And the first thing I thought of myself that I have to work with so many people around the world. I've never been outside India ever. Before that, I have not worked. I have traveled abroad, but I have not worked before in any country other than India. And we had a lot of Australians, South Africans, Indonesians, of course, whom I had to work. We had gradually the holding company, Bakri Group, sold to Chinese partner also, China Investment Corporation. So started working with CIC at that time. See, one thing which I tell people that when you are working abroad, you have to have a broad mind. You cannot be, okay, whatever I think, that's the best. You have to keep your ideas, your mind open to other ideas, other suggestions, and maintain a good relationship with everybody from top to down. Because you are in a foreign country, unless you have the support of all, from operator down to the top, you cannot succeed. So that was one mantra I really learned, that once I get into a foreign country, I have to be close to the people, whether it is an operator, mechanic, or the top boss. And that really helped me. So when I was elevated to the post of CEO, I had to start negotiating with the union. And all these union people, I knew them. So it was not easy. We had almost 6 union with 5,000 people. So they knew me, I knew them. So it was a new experience dealing with the unions. And it was a very smooth union settlement I had. So unlike India, I had a terrible time. And in Nelco, when we were there, I still remember Sharad Rao was there, who was the Mumbai. He came actually from Sharad Pawar's group.
I see.
He was tough. So I was the GM Finance at that time, and I had to go with the director to his house early in the morning to see how we can settle. So, but unlike the experience I had, it was very smooth. So my recommendation, and one of the things why I was able to meet the aspirations of the shareholders, we have 3 shareholders, now we have 4, that basically I'm open to all. I keep my doors open. Everybody, anybody can walk in. I don't believe in having a closed door and just sit inside. Somebody will knock or go to my secretary to take my appointment. I don't believe in that.
Right. So you're very right about working abroad, having a broad mind, taking everybody together. So you're in fact the engine driving forward the entire KPC.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you had not worked in coal earlier. So what is your, briefly, if you could share with us your professional background?
So I'm a chartered accountant and a company secretary from India. And the coal industry this is my 6th industry. In fact, I started with the tire industry, Dunlop, then moved to consumer products and liquor company, Chauvelus.
I see.
Electronics, telecom. Electronics was in the Tata Group, telecom, and then power. Power was a difficult one because I was in strategy and business development. Couldn't understand much about power. But compared to power, coal is much, much easier. But let me tell you, one of the things which really has helped me to gain knowledge, I really thank McKinsey for that. We had brought in McKinsey to do operation improvement in KPC in 2012. And I told them, boss, you are a consultant, you work worldwide. I need to learn from you. From 7 in the evening to 8 in the evening, 1 hour, I used to sit with them to understand the coal industry.
I see.
And that's how I gained knowledge. I don't have much knowledge like other mining engineers, but yes, I do have some knowledge. What questions to ask, those pointers I can.
Yes, absolutely. Asking the right questions, I think, is a great skill to have. And I can see that you've learned a lot with your consultants.
Yeah.
What has been your experience working in Indonesia?
See, Indonesia is a great, great country. Let me now tell you. People are extremely cordial, very nice, very straightforward. And it has been a wonderful experience working with them. Whether I was with the group chairman yesterday, he was open to so many issues. Ashok, can you help me in this, that, and all. And such kind of welcoming to an expat is not that I have seen elsewhere in the group. Right. Elsewhere in the world also. Why?
Yeah. Ashok, can you share any specific challenges or obstacles you have faced as CEO and what you've done to overcome them?
Yeah, as in, if you ask today, when I took over, there was a COVID. So we had an outbreak of COVID in our mine site. We lost about 43 people, died due to COVID, and it was a bad time. Looking after the families and because people, the families have lost their livelihood. So some earning member has passed away. So it was a heartbreaking for a lot of people had faced at that time. And gradually we overcome it. We saw to it that the families were taken care of by KPC. So this was the first challenge I faced immediately upon taking over as CEO. Today, if you look at, we are facing challenges of not the business operation as such, the government regulations which has come and how we get over it, how we move ahead, how to reduce costs has become a major challenge for all of us in the mining industry. Basically, those large companies who are operating in Indonesia.
I see. So costs have become a large thing. And I hear you, during the pandemic, everybody went through a huge change. It was an incredibly challenging time. And for you or your company to suffer such a loss is really heartbreaking.
Yes.
Ashok, what role do you see KPC playing in the larger energy landscape of Indonesia? And how do you envision the company's future growth and contribution to the nation's economy?
So let me tell you, we are the highest taxpayer as well as the highest non-tax revenue payer in the country, so far as the mining industry is concerned.
I see.
So that is so far as coal industry is concerned. But people today, if you go to a bank, you ask for funds, hey, you are a coal industry company, you don't want to give coal. If you go to a rating agency, you are already down by 50%. So out of 50, they will give you, okay, 40 upon 50, that's the best coal you can get. But it's not an industry which people will look forward to for their career in future. That is my thinking. So what, as KPC, we are doing, we are getting into downstream projects. So KPC will invest in coal gasification. It's coal to synthetic gas, we will produce ammonia out of it. So the project we will start next year, 24, groundbreaking it will be, and we hope to complete by mid-2026 the plant. So that will be the first step to move away from coal into a coal downstream project, so that we are not recognized as a coal industry per se, and we have to do something more than mining. The second industry which we are looking at is aluminium. So we will, this project, the first project will come up in Bangalore, one of our mine sites. The second project, aluminium smelter, we are also looking at setting up in Bangalore at our mine site. So we will be moving away from coal gradually, because coal will continue to be the source of fuel for the next 10 years, 10 to 15 years in my opinion. But gradually, if KPC name has to be there, we have to move away from the coal. Right.
In fact, that, I was going to ask you why coal and why, in the light of the global push towards having green, renewable, but you've already answered that. But apart from that, how do you prioritize environmental sustainability and social responsibility within KPC's operations?
See, so far as social responsibility is concerned, we have started looking at how to reduce the emission over a period of time. We have been doing in the past, but now we are slowly looking into, can we expedite it, that we are no more burning emission and we gradually move towards sustainability in the future, because that's the key word today. So we are, besides coal-fired power plant, we have started looking at solar and biomass.
I see. Well, these are all very important steps to getting to having a greener environment, and it's becoming a more of a need rather than just a buzzword.
Yeah, it is more of a need, and you cannot shy away from it. You have to accept this one day or the other. You go to the banks, insurance companies. If you are only a coal company, nobody will care.
Correct. Ashok, what do you do to maintain a healthy work-life balance, being so busy as a CEO? And what strategies do you employ to prevent burnout and maintain your own well-being?
To be very frank with you, I used to work almost 13 to 14 hours a year. Now I have started reducing, and I have people, I make people understand that it is not an individual who can drive the company. We have to work all together. So it's HR, which has to play a key role in all these aspects of getting the people, making it a fun place where people will be happy to work. It is not just I come to work, oh, I have to work because I have to earn. It's not. Our main goal is to make it as a fun place, a place where people will tell his or her friends, it's the best employer I've come across. That's the ultimate goal I want to have.
Yeah, sounds like an ideal place to live, to work in, where you tell your friends and family that I enjoy working here, I have fun here. It is not merely a place to earn livelihood. I think that's the dream of all companies.
Yeah.
Ashok, last question. What advice would you give to aspiring leaders who wish to achieve similar success in their careers?
See, one thing I tell the younger generation, that there is no alternate to hard work. You may encounter failures, but through failure, you come out to be a successful leader. So there is nothing, nobody can replace hard work. But going forward, the younger generation will have to see that the world is changing fast. You have to adapt yourself to the changes also as fast as the world is changing. If you look at AI, today is the buzzword for the techies. If you are still living in no, I am a technical guy, I don't know, I don't want to learn anything about AI, you are going to have a bad time moving ahead. So people will have to look at the newer technologies like AI, digitalization, your entire operations in future, you got to have it digitalized. You cannot afford to rely on just working, and there's nothing you can do.
Right.
And also to the younger generation, we have to read a lot. I have started at my age learning about green hydrogen.
Learning about
understand green hydrogen and all. Oh, sometimes my wife says, why you are sitting after dinner? I say, let me just concentrate on something new in this today's world.
Right. No, I think that's a big lesson that we all need to incorporate to keep learning. And, it's lifelong learning. And I appreciate your sharing your insights and your lessons with us about taking the whole company, having a broad mind, taking everybody together, as well as being aware of what are the new technologies in place, like you mentioned, AI, and what is the digital transformation that's happening in all industries, and making the workplace a fun place to be in. So I can see why you have been awarded the top 10 CEOs. So thank you, Ashok. Thank you for your time. I appreciate this time with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.